Goodness gracious. Welcome in to Clicked Up Sunday. I was asked to come in and have a dope conversation by a dope person. And let's have a dope conversation with a dope person.
Let's have a dope conversation with a second dope person. Check that out. I'm first, he's second. What?
Yeah, it is what it is. I take it.
All right.
How are you doing today?
I am blessed and highly favored in yourself.
Blessed and highly favored. You're both things.
I am both things.
That's crazy. I've been blessed. I've been highly favored, but I haven't been blessed and highly favored.
Not at the same time.
Not at the same time. It's almost like it's been real, it's been fun, but it hadn't been real fun. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
wow.
something like that.
Well, I need you to work on trying to make things real fun.
I'm gonna see what I can do.
You need my help?
Hey, I take all the help I can get.
Okay, I'm going to help you with that.
So, man, you are such a shocker. You came in and you rewired my system. Everything's not working in here. We were just in here last night. You come in here and things don't know how to work. I don't know what's going on. So
That's real woman doing real woman stuff. What did you
is
not
that
know?
what it is? You just come in and rewire stuff. It's
That's
cool.
what I do.
It is what it is.
I help make
So
things work properly.
so check this out. We're gonna have a dope conversation real quick. So,
I think I should be the host tonight.
you think you should be the host tonight?
Yeah, we're gonna have a dope conversation with the host who hosts us everything all the time doing his thing. So I'm gonna be asking him questions tonight. He didn't even know this thing was gonna switch, and he becomes the person that's in the spotlight tonight.
That's inappropriate. Um, I don't know if I like that.
You don't like that, but you're a man of wisdom.
I'm a man of a few things. I don't know if wisdom is one of them.
Wisdom is what I'm about to say tonight. I think you got a little wisdom, and I think because of who you are and the things that you have accomplished in life, I think you give some people some insight on a different side of what we're going to discuss tonight.
Do you have some ideas that you?
I really do. I feel like what we're going to discuss is, ladies, let's talk about this. Father Day is coming up, and everybody has a father.
Uh,
I love my daddy. I'm a daddy's girl.
okay.
And I feel like we men are out here doing their best. A lot of them. Um, Years have changed. Men have changed. And I think men need to get their props where props are due. There are men out here that's getting up every morning, going to a job, busting their tails to make sure either they make sure child support is paid, or if they're just single fathers doing whatever they got to do to make sure their kids are getting supported the way they should be. And I think what's going on in the world today is that we don't give these men enough pat on the backs or congratulations and you've come a long way. They may have not been that father at the beginning, but women, come on, we got to do better by letting them know they are great fathers now. They may have not started off being a great father, but some of them have learned. And as we say, as we grow up, that women are more mature than men. At some point, they did mature, right? So we met them when they wasn't 100% where they needed to be. And now that if they can show us now that they're 100%, I think we need to meet these men halfway. So what is your concept on that, Jive, being, single father and all?
Um. That's a lot. My take on being a single father. Goodness gracious. It's one of those jobs that is easy enough to mess up real good. I think it's taught me a lot about who I am and who I thought I was and who I wasn't. Um, I have a lot to say about how the work environment takes parents away from children. There's a lot. There's a lot of different directions I can go in. But to your point, I think that we're not allowing a learning curve for fatherhood like we
Okay.
allow for motherhood. Mothers don't have to have it all together. Mothers you start with one kid, you don't know, and it's okay. You don't know. It's okay. You didn't. It's okay if your patience isn't there. It's okay if you're still reeling from the dissolution of the relationship that created the child. All of these things, there's a lot of grace that is given to a mother that when a father has those same hurdles, there's no grace for that. There is no grace for not being ready. There's no grace for not being you're not necessarily wanting this because there's no postpartum per se for a father. So when a mother is postpartum and she's like, I didn't want this and this that we attribute it to something outside of her, so she doesn't have to be responsible for those words or those behaviors or those. But when men say the same thing in the coping mechanism of what's going on, there is no phrase or terminology or medical condition that comes to our rescue and says, "No, he's going to be a good father later. He's just dealing right now." We don't have that space for them. They have to be on point right now. They can't not want anything. And the minute that they're not everything, they're nothing. So there's a higher consequence because and that's in my experience and in the experience of those who I've spoken with. There's no leeway, there's no leverage. Either you're a great father or you're a deadbeat. There is no
So
average everyday father. There's no regular guy. You can be a regular mother and be fantastic. If you're a regular father, you're a deadbeat.
okay, so as a man, what would you consider men who are just deadbeat? Now, we have had our understanding of what we think a deadbeat father is, but as a man, you can see other men who just don't do. So, what in your aspect of life do you think is a man that just could be doing better for his kid, but just don't?
Oh man, that's a good question. So here's my take on that. Um, fathers, men who create children are fathers in the biological sense,
Okay.
but we have not been socialized to equate sex with the production of children. We just don't do that. We think sex is for fun. We think that sex is for you know a lot of different things other than the actual biological consequence. So men who have sex and have no intention on having a child with this person have very much articulated they didn't want to have a child with this person, very much articulated they didn't want anything to do with the consequence of this. In my assessment, while it's terribly irresponsible, it's honest. I wouldn't call those men deadbeats because you said from the gate, and we have the metrics and we have the things in place to terminate a pregnancy with a person who does not want to participate. If that person, in that way that we say, lived in their truth, if he said, I don't want nothing to do with this, and he's standing on that, hey, I mean, he doesn't want to have anything to do with this. He said that. Like, that was the seminal thrust, uh, funny, of his argument is he was nothing to do with anything that comes of this, and for whatever reason, be it maternal, be it religious, be it existential, whatever reason that she chose to have this child anyway. And notice I didn't say anything conniving or
Okay.
manipulative about it. Whatever motivation she had to keep the child, for that reason, she is responsible.
Hold up, but then if he knew he didn't want to have a kid,
Hmm.
shouldn't he took all precautions to not make this kid? Now I understand when
I did preface it with
yeah,
it is terribly irresponsible.
it's
I
very
prefaced it like,
so.
yeah,
If you gonna stand on that, I'm gonna need you to take all precaution there is to not do it. Now, if a mistake happened, like boop, the condom bust, okay,
yeah.
things happen.
Yeah.
But in this case, if a man doesn't want a kid, and I can respect everything you putting down, then I'm gonna need him to take all precautions to not have this happen.
I mean, I understand. Like, I said irresponsible. So let me
so,
be
so
blatantly clear. Men, the biological act of having sex is very addictive. We have a whole culture that is like struggling with its addiction to sex and other things, but it, we have a sex first society out of all things. We don't have a child first society at all. I think go back to answer your question, um, what makes a deadbeat father is when he starts to retract um, support and retract commitment and retract connection based on the relationship with the mother solely. right? Like, oh, if we break up, I don't got nothing to do with this. If you not listening to me, if you date somebody else, if you, find some other dude, then that to me is deadbeat material. Like all of a sudden, you don't know this boy because the mother moved on or the mother, made other decisions, which which unfortunately, in the reality of things, is separate from the relationship that you have with your child once you two separate. And I understand there are men out here who definitely made children, in that Will Smith, if push come to shove, you was conceived in love, and
Right.
there is a bitterness in them. Again, that there's no space for him to articulate. There's no space for him to come to terms with the truth that he has to face. There's no coddling of him. So if and I've heard this said before that if a woman decides to end the relationship and take the child, we don't call that a broken home. We don't call a woman a home breaker, a home wrecker. But when a man does, he's breaking up a family. It's a broken home now. So when a woman chooses herself first, it's okay. When a man chooses himself first, it's deadbeat material. I think it's both ways. I think both people are deadbeats. If you are breaking up a family for your personal reasons, outside of the functions that this man is a good man, but he's not the richest man. This man is a good man, but he's not finished yet. And none of us are. If you are the only one, if you're the only one allowed to be a human in the relationship, and everybody else has to be a product of your humanity, and then when he fails to or she fails to meet you at your level, then you think it's okay to dissolve a relationship. I think you're a deadbeat.
Okay. Well, I also feel like it's kind of one sided when it comes to females too, because you'll say, "Oh, a woman would keep you from their kid, and they this," but so is a man doing the same thing when he say, "Tell that nigga to pay for him. You fucking that nigga, you tell him to pay for it." That's your kid, dude. So you're
Deadbeat
both
material.
doing the same thing.
Deadbeat material.
Like you say, like at the end of the day, neither one of you better than the next one. She holding kid for money, you holding money for kid. Like, what are we doing? So at the end of the day, none of y'all on top. Like you got one who holding kid for money and the other one holding the money to not because I can't see the kid. Like tell that nigga, hold up, that nigga didn't make your kid though. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's just the most ignorant statement a dad can make.
But
I don't
but so
care.
why do men say that? Let's dig into that.
For me, I
My
feel like you say that because for one, you say you don't want the woman, but in all reality, you really still do. Some men are still dealing with feelings that they still have attached to a female because at the end of the day, I don't think neither one of y'all broke up, right? So you messing with this chick on the side, she messing with Bobby over here, but then when y'all have nights, y'all talking about the kids and what you miss. Now y'all around here backtracking and jumping into each other bed, but yet y'all ain't together. So then when y'all around here getting mad at each other, it's who ain't doing who for what and what and what and what. It's a jealousy thing. Like y'all need to decide who need, and then you're confusing the poor kid. Daddy here one moment, daddy gone. What is wrong with y'all?
um
This is crazy.
I have not had the luxury of being having the block spun back on me. Um,
So when they say they
so what they
done with you, they
done,
done with
they
you.
done. They deuces.
Damn, you must really putting it down hard.
Like, look, when they look, because here's my thing, right? I think, and again, I don't want to be gender specific. I think the way it expresses itself is gender specific, but that it exists isn't. I think there's a honeymoon phase that we all know how to perform in very well. I think we all know how to really put it on when we're like, I just meet you. Like if we
Yeah,
go out, I know how to man, I know how to get you in the bed.
because I ain't gonna tell you my whole truth.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you half of it.
I know how to get you in the bed. I know how to get you to want it. But I don't know how to get you to forgive me for not being complete yet. I don't know how to, and I don't think men or women know how to do this. When I first meet you, we first meet each other, there's a glow around you. You can do no wrong,
Okay.
right? It's like, oh my God, it's just every time. And you get the anticipation, and when they text, and you can feel it, and it go through your bones. But at some point, man, that stuff fades.
It does. Well,
That,
not really. It depends on who you talking to,
wait,
though.
wait, wait. At some point, like even when you hear like athletes or superstars, when their spouses talk about them, they're talking about a human being, and they're not talking about the celebrity that you're awing at. They're talking,
Right.
what I'm saying. So, if you've ever seen, I've seen a couple of uh conversations where Denzel's wife is talking to Denzel. She's talking to her husband. She's not
Right.
talking to the multimillionaire, award-winning actor. She's talking to the dude she met in like 1978,
Because that is a
and that's
persona.
who she's talking to. And when they talk to each other, when he talks to her, he's talking to his wife. He's not talking to a group. He's not talking to a fan. He's not talking to somebody who should be happy to be with him for all the
Right.
success. He's talking to the mother of his children. There is a dissolution a del- of that glow, that newness, right? Like, and you start to really find out who the person is. And when we get past the what, the big ass, the fat titties, the big, yeah. When you get past
The
the what part,
etc.
right? The etc. I like that. When you get past the etc. and you have to dig into the person, most of us don't have enough character development to hold attention.
Yeah, because you just there for the moment. So within that hour, 2 hours, you holding somebody attention. So that's why I say all this jumping into bed and not wanting to get to know each other. And then now you mad because things not working out. You didn't care to want to know who that person was to begin with. You was okay with the mediocre part. You didn't want to get deep into who they truly are. And I think that's what's wrong with a lot of people.
I mean, first of all, it's not mediocre; it's pretty great. But four kids in, um,
At 4 kids.
four kids in. I know what I'm doing. But no, to your point, and I agree 100%. Um, yeah, that regular part, the part that everybody can do, yeah. But I can only be me, and you can only be you, and I have to be at a place in my life where I want to find out the who of you.
Ooh, that is good.
And if I'm not into finding out the who of you, the what starts to chip away because every day over 18 is a day away from being, at your prime or
Grown.
whatever.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
now
saying? Like,
I'm
oh my God.
grown.
And one day we're not, we wake up and we feel good, but we're not spring chickens. And the new 18-year-olds came out, and the new 21-year-olds came out, and the new whatever is going on came out. And if I'm still stuck on the what, I'm out shopping again for the new what.
Right.
But and I'll say it like this: um, if it's about sex or money,
It's always about sex for money.
you'll never be enough, and I'll never be enough ever, because there's always more sex and there's always
It's
more
more
money.
money.
But if I'm here for you, then by definition you're enough because there's only one you. By definition, I want to be with you
Okay,
for
so
who you
where's
are.
these men at? I mean, really, like,
Uh-huh.
dude, you over here talking and looking me in my eye, telling me this stuff, but where is these men at? Like, women like me want to see these kind of men. Like, you here for me. Like, I got you. And we talk about ride or die. Where did this term come from if we don't have that? Or you want to ride or die, but we not riding and dying no more? Y'all around here just sleeping with everybody. Ain't nobody care about a ride or die.
um,
Yeah, you can't
Ride
find
or
that.
die is a terrible phrase because exactly what you're saying, right? It's terrible because it's not ride or die, it's ride and die. Like you gonna ride
No,
with me,
they
that's
done
gonna kill you.
rephrase this thing. They say ride or die. Like we gonna do either one.
Yeah, but I like
I'm a ride chick. I'm not dying with nobody.
so here's the thing, and I think the ride or die, and I've said this before, the ride or die concept is beautiful, and the best argument I have for ride or die is Bonnie and Clyde,
There you go.
the original
The
Bonnie and
original
Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Two people, I mean, they're committing crimes and it's horrible.
But that's love
But they
though.
but they were so committed to each other that they became synonymous with one another. And in a time where harming a woman in that, height of, that pseudo masculine 1920s, 30s, 40s, whatever, whenever it is they were, um, hurting a woman, harming a woman was unthinkable. But they shot up that car with over 80 bullets aimed at both of them because they were both equally as dangerous.
There you go.
Because you couldn't separate him from her, you couldn't separate her from him, and whatever they were in
And
together,
together.
100%. Nobody was eating off of each other. They were, and you had to kill them both.
Because if you kill
Because if you
him
kill
without
one,
me,
if you
I'm coming for
and
your
exactly,
ass.
so it's like they had to. The state knew, no, neither one of these people can be alive anymore. They're dangerous apart.
And
Even if
dangerous
you saw
together.
her without him, there's no separating her from him. Even if you saw him without her, they were so locked in mentally, emotionally, spiritually. They were one human being.
And so
And
that's what I feel true love is. Like, if you ain't feeling that, then now y'all just playing house.
oh, for sure.
And I feel like a lot of people are putting their energy in playing house, and now you mad.
Mm.
Well, y'all was never true in the first place. You're out here playing house. And now everybody got multiple houses. Since when, even when you was kid playing house, you only had one house. We couldn't afford plenty of houses when we was kids. You had one, one house.
Look, like think about it. In a bygone era, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again because it bears repeating, right? Like back in the days, you couldn't just leave your wife and kids,
No, you
right? You
couldn't.
had to say some stuff like, "I'm gonna go out and get some cigarettes," and never
And never come back again.
to the town.
Or the milk. I'm
Right, you're
gonna
gonna
get some milk.
and you never come back to the state, right? Like
It
you
just disappear.
and you disappear into oblivion. You had to leave the time zone in order to restart. These people are just moving out of apartments. Y'all still staying the same.
And then
Y'all staying the same. Look, he just moved to the building over there, and you don't see your kids, and you making all these complaints. I can't see my kids.
but you only like 5
You 5 paces
doors
away,
down.
right?
Like, what the
you,
hell?
they on the upper level. You telling her to be quiet. You got to go to sleep. Nigga, there's no kids up there. What are you talking
Or
about?
don't sit them down here.
Right. Don't sit them down here.
I got company.
I try to make some more people I don't want to take responsibility for.
Exactly. Then who keep having kids with multiple people when you already not taking care of one? Y'all gotta help me understand this, man. Like, look, without you, we can't have a kid. So I understand where my friend is always saying, women got all the power. We ain't got that much damn power. We can't make kids on our own. So at the end of the day, if you dealing with me and I'm already a baby mother that keep giving you hell, why you keep putting babies in me? Just men, make it make sense. We can't impregnate ourselves. I mean, we can if we went to the doctor, but you don't run impregnating us. Now, you tell me why you going to put another baby in somebody you can't get along with. Now, you can't get along with her, I'm going to give her another one. Then I'm going to give her another one, and I'm going to give her another one, and then we're going to cry about how she act. You didn't know the first child, she was crazy. And women, the same thing when it comes to men. Because like we say in this little group we got right now this afternoon, we ain't on nobody's side, woman nor men. Is going both ways tonight. At the end of the day, same
Going
thing for
both
you
ways
women.
is absolutely crazy. Not going both ways.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So women, at the end of the day, same thing for you. If the man is not a good father, why you keep having babies with him? If he didn't teach you the first baby, it's your fault. Like, at this point, you picking the same baby daddy over and over again.
Woo. Caught me.
So I have your question with that because
Go ahead. Give me a question. Give me a question.
like
Give me
my
a question.
thing is, men have multiple baby mothers.
Mm.
Now, if one baby mother was a problem, why did you collect 3 more? I'm never gonna understand that from men. Like, that doesn't even make sense.
So I will. I'll help you.
Please help me.
Here's another problem that steps in, is that most men are terribly sexually irresponsible and undisciplined. On top of that, there's a thing. This is a biological thing, right? So in order to make people want to have sex, right? Evolution did a funny thing. It attached it to drugs, right? There are certain chemical processes that happen, and they only happen when you have sex, right? Because that's the way it is, it's the only way you can provoke somebody to commit themselves to something that can augment their lives, especially for women. Because if you think about the risk to a woman's body to have sex and to bring a child to fruition, the the self-preservation motive in you was gonna make you not want to do that. Like, I don't want to have a kid. That shit can kill me. I want to have a kid. That's she's gonna mess up my body. That's just gonna. I'm gonna have to work harder to take care of a child. So this, but the thing is, now there is a dopamine, oxytocin, all these different chemicals that get put into you when you start having sex, and it augments your thinking. Think of the things you think and say during sex.
I really don't like for people to talk to me during sex. Quit doing all the damn talking. I ain't got time for all that. Just do what you here for.
What?
You're tripping,
So
man.
you're
That's
just
just
like
too
you
much
just-
talking, man.
You don't like a little no? No?
Yeah, I mean, when we about to get into it, but once we into it, quit talking to me. Shut the fuck up.
So you just want to hear breathing?
I mean, ain't we doing shit? What are you? Okay, look. No wonder y'all shit don't stay on hard because you're talking too much.
No, some of that is you gotta. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you want to just whisper a little something to let her
Why
know.
did we do that before we got started? That's what got us in the position we in
Yeah,
right
but
now.
it's like a little. You want to hear a little something, a little.
What do you want to hear? What do
you
you
wanna-
be saying?
Don't you want to hear? I'm not gonna tell you all that. That's trade secret shit right there. You're asking for.
I'm just saying, really. But how much talking is you really doing? I
I'm
don't.
doing a little talk. I'm doing a little. I'm doing.
Okay,
I'm
back
saying a
to
little something.
how
I'm
we
saying a
got
little
here in the first place. Most of the time, when people doing all these things and it's not involving kids, you already tipsy or drunk anyways. Who doing all that talking? Let's just get straight to the point. And we did a lot of talking on the way home when we got in the room. You know, that's a lot of talking right there. Like, we ain't gonna be doing all this talking during sex. You know, that's just a little much.
Come on. See,
What are we talking about? Like, is it good? Like, you really want me to tell you?
I don't know what your experiences have been, but you have been deprived of some robust experiences, and I'm sorry.
I'm just
I don't
saying.
know what to tell you.
I don't want
But
nobody to be asking
I've heard
if
and
it's
said
good or and stuff
I've
like
heard
that.
and said some dope things that make a yo.
Oh my God, it's amazing. Oh
That
my
is not-
God,
that is
don't
not-
stop. Like,
that
what
is-
the hell?
First of all, if you say don't stop the right way, the right way. If you say don't stop, if you say right there,
oh, please
don't
stop.
stop.
Don't
Right there.
Stop right there.
right there,
Right there.
don't
Right
stop.
there. Right there. Right
What?
there.
What?
Okay, but that's
I will
during
catch a
mo-
cramp
Hold on, wait
following
a
your
minute.
instructions.
That's just in the moment during things. I mean,
This is
sitting
what
there-
I'm saying.
No, but I thought you meant like all this talking, like, do it feel good and oh my.
I mean, that's
God.
part of it.
Quit
You in the
asking me
moment.
dumbass questions.
Yeah, sometimes you know.
So what if it ain't good? Now you want me to tell you out loud? See, ask me shit.
That's horrible. That's
So I'm gonna say, oh no,
that's
it's
exactly
not
why
good.
we can't get nowhere as a people. That's the reason I believe.
So
that
as a
right
woman,
now.
to just not hurt your ego, what if it's bad? Men should quit asking all these questions. We got to sit here and try not to hurt your feelings. What if it's just terrible?
Yikes.
And then I feel like a lot of people putting all this energy into sex. What about making love? Like, I hear so much about doing it, but nobody ever talks about making
So what is making
love.
What is the difference between having sex and making love? What is that to you?
To me, meaning back to like Bonnie and Clyde,
Mhm.
meaning we are one. I can feel you while you feeling me. Like, we don't even have to talk. Like, I can feel it in my spirit. Like, every move you make, every thrust you give, every movement we doing, and I can feel it in my soul. You ain't never had no sex like that.
Yeah.
So to me, that's a person you should be with. Y'all not here banging people with no feelings, and then mad. You ain't had no feelings to begin with. That was just doing something because you need to get your nuts off. Let's just be calling it what it is. Y'all right here just doing people just to be doing people. And then that's why everybody not connecting because you're not trying to connect. You're just trying to get a booyah.
A booyah is crazy.
So at
That's
the end
crazy.
of the day, I just feel like people should really get it. But then we got to the point in the world where we shouldn't get to know each other. But in my era, it was getting to know each other, right? So why are we all now well, the world has changed. No, the world didn't. Are y'all getting y'all feelings when somebody not communicating with you? That part didn't change. And you want somebody that you could talk to and tell your feelings to. That hasn't changed. It's just that you guys mentally, which is mental, think that some of these things are okay. And because everybody else is doing it, then why is it not okay for me? Well, I don't go, I'm not a follower. I'm a leader. So I don't care what everybody else is doing. If I like you, I like you. And regardless of what everybody else is doing. And if you want to be a part of them, you might not need to talk to me. Because I'm not a hoe. You're not just about to sleep with me. No communication, no
Hmm.
talking, all that
Hmm.
texting. Look, I don't go with everybody else. So since I'm not part of that situation, you might not need to talk to me. I don't think I'm better than nobody, but I'm just not part of the category where I just want to open my legs for any and everybody. So if that make me hard to get, so like y'all, some of y'all people are saying, I'm not playing hard to get. I genuinely like you. You just genuinely want to screw me. Two different situations. I'd rather get to know you before we get to screwing. You rather just screw and then get to know later. See, two different concepts. I like you, you like me, but we not about to do it your way. That don't change me as a person, and I don't think I'm better than you, and I ain't playing hard to get. We can do it. We could be mutual, but we don't have a lot of that because we're not dealing with a lot of grown men. Just like they say, diamonds is a girl best friend, but cash is a woman's best friend. See, I don't care nothing. I don't care nothing about no diamonds. Can we financially take care of one another? Fuck a diamond.
I mean, so you said a few things. Just very, 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 very,
Yeah, I know. Gives you a lot to think about. So, as a man,
very.
and now I'm about to ask you, with
I love house. I absolutely love wink, wink. When sentences start off with "as a man," because
so
everything after that is about to be positive. I promise.
yeah, as a man, I feel like sometimes men need to give other men some positive insight. Like if you already know that certain things that your significant friends are doing, hey, dude, check yourself. Like we got men that know these dudes out here doing wrong,
Hmm.
but we won't check them. Like, well, that's how some niggas is. No, that's not right.
I mean, we have a disheveled community that is not in a functional state, and because we have it like that, most men are not checking most men, just like most women are not checking most women. We are very soft on the in group. The people who we are agreeable with, we're not going hard. We're not indicting them. We're not holding them to account. We're not holding their feet to the fire. We may say something, "Hey, dog, man, you wildin', bro." That's not the same as, "Hey, yo, man, stop fucking up."
Yeah, we should do
You know what I'm
that.
saying? We're not hearing, "Hey, girl," what you're hearing, "Girl, you crazy, girl, girl, I can't
It couldn't
believe
have
you
been
did."
me. It couldn't have been
And
me.
but then it's not like, "Girl, don't do that man like that. Stop that." That's different than, "Girl, you crazy." That's different than, "Ooh, it couldn't have been me." It's, "Yo, stop. That's a good man and you're gonna fuck him up.
There
If
you
you don't
go.
want him, let him go before you fuck him up for the people who he has to meet after you. Yo, dog, if you don't got no good intentions for her, let her go
Let her go.
so she can go be with the person who was intended. Da 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 da. We're not saying that because both sides are really really soft on who we're agreeable to. Because I don't want to lose a friend. I don't want to look like a traitor. She don't want to lose a friend. She don't want to look like a gender traitor. So then you have to. It's there's a such thing as a it's called political capital, right?
Okay.
So you start to when you have to gain political capital in order to be able to spend it. So, but if you come in the gate trying to disrupt, you lose more than you've ever gained. So, if I walk into a situation and these are dudes I know or whatever, if I'm concerned with keeping continuity as friends and continuity as an in group with these gentlemen, I'm a, I have to leverage my power, but also think about it. Like, how much am I willing to spend and going hard for this issue? I heard Barack Obama say the same thing about black issues as a president. He was like, "Yo, it's the political capital it would take to extend and pursue black interests was just something that he felt like it was a non-starter." I think those were his exact words, right? Because it was so expensive, politically speaking. So socially speaking, um, the the minute a black woman says, "Hey man, black women, we're messing up and we're messing these men over," she's a pick me. She's ostracized. She's outcasted. The minute a man says, "Hey man, these women have a point and we da 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 da," da," he's a simp, and he ain't gonna get chose no way. So all that simping ain't gonna get you chose. She's still gonna cheat. She's still gonna have you raising a kid that ain't hers. He's still gonna hit you. He's still gonna be having a baby across town. And so then there are these things that are put in our face to get us back in line and get us back in order with our end group. You're not supposed to go ahead of the narrative, even if you see something wrong with the narrative, even if you understand the holes that have been poked in the narrative are valid. These women are not always wrong. These men are not always wrong. They're not monsters. We're not monsters. You know what I'm saying? Every what do they say? Every sinner, every saint has a past, or every sinner has a future. That type of thing. Like, yo, look, they came from somewhere. You came from somewhere. Be just as graceful and gracious as you expect somebody else to be with you. But we don't want to do that because we want a finished product for our humanity. And that's what I see you as. I see you as a product of my masculinity. You see me as a product of your femininity. I got a nigga like Jive who does this, that, and the third, and that's the nigga that answers to me. That's the nigga that comes for me. That's the nigga. I got a Cherie, and she's the one that makes sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's less. It's an ego building function more than a humility to submission, because in true relationships there is I want to use this word carefully. Both parties are submitting to an extent, right? In order for my power, for my masculinity to be available to you, I have to submit it to you. I have to
Right.
give it to you. My ability to protect and provide, I have submitted to you. It's yours. The Bible says that. Do not give your body, men, husbands, do not give your bodies to other women, for it's not your body, it's your wife's body. Wives, don't give your bodies to another man, because it's not your body,
It's
it's
your
your husband's
husband's
body.
body.
So these are parts of the Bible that people don't like to talk about, because everybody's trying to extract and nobody's trying to bring in. Um, so um, so I say all that to say, when we are dealing with the way things are, and when we're dealing with the way we perceive things, um, we are seeing men and women both in the throes of trying to empower themselves with each other's labor, with each other's intentions, and we're breaking people and we're harming people because you don't really like him like that. You just like
He can give
what
you.
he gives you and what it looks like for you. You don't really don't like her like that, but you like the fact that all the other niggas that liked her have to see her with you and hate.
I
You know what
was,
I mean?
yeah, so I was just having this conversation with a young man, and I was saying, I noticed that with our African American culture, especially men, I've never seen a guy that just jump out after being in a relationship and just get their own. Okay, so you have kids, but when you get out of a relationship, you jump back into another relationship with another chick. How about getting your own place so that your kids can come over there? But you don't see a lot of that from guys. Not too many men just have their own place. Even if you was in a long term relationship, then it broke up, you jump right back into another relationship with another woman where you splitting bills again. What about just getting? You already had kids with somebody else. What about getting a place where your kids can actually come to, where you can actually entertain your kids? But instead, we're gonna keep jumping from one chick to the next chick to the next chick, so that you can live a lifestyle that you can afford when you don't have to pay rent. Or man, you paying half of a rent, you're not paying a full rent. Then you got men, women who out here paying all they rent, and them the ones you giving the worst to. Like they actually paying all they rent, they helping taking care of the kid, but you're dating somebody that doesn't even do half of that. And they got kids. They staying with you, they helping paying your bills, and they complaining about why they can't take care of their own kids. I think some of y'all women need to start kicking some of these men out.
Okay, I got a couple of comments I gotta bring up. Okay. Honesty is key. Got to be able to ask questions. This came a couple of minutes ago. And rebuke used to be a strong suit in the community. We need to get back to that. I say, and I've had a couple conversations, and this has come from women, as a matter of fact, is that we need to bring back shame.
There you go.
There has to be some level of shame because dignity and ego are not the same words.
I told you that.
And so there's a lot of people in this world who think everything that a man goes through is about his ego. And it's like, no. Some of this has to do with dignity. Some of this has to do with personal pride, personal um, respect for oneself. And a lot of us don't have it. A lot of us are very egotistical. But that's the currency that we've all been taught to trade in. So it's I'm trying to build my ego. I'm trying to like all this brand building and all of this, influencer status, all this other stuff. All this is an experiment in ego economy. That's all this stuff is. You're an influencer because some people pay attention to you. So attention has become a form of currency
Mm.
above what it's ever been. This is something new. So there's a lot of people like if you go on like we do a thing here at Clicked Podcast, like, share, subscribe. Um, but there are a lot of people who have content creator, digital this, that, and the third in their bio, like they do what we do here,
Right.
or the people at a higher level do. But they, when you look on their page, where they're just taking pictures of them half naked or selling drugs, whatever the hell they're doing. And no, you're not. You're not really doing this. But it's the clout that you chase. I know women who don't do anything on the internet. They're not influencers, but when they post themselves half naked, Facebook will pay you money to be half naked.
Naked. Hmm.
I know, and she's a good friend of mine. She was like, "Look, I'm tight on this bill. I hate to do this, but splash, hit it. Picture went up. I know this person personally. If I call this person right now, this person's going to answer the phone. And she had the money in a day.
Okay, stop.
You feel me? And
I don't feel you.
no, no. When I say feel me, like, see what I'm saying? Like there is something to be said about a machine that pays out for degradation, that pays out for hypersexuality. It pays you to do that. The people who are making the money, these grifters are not having a problem getting attention. These grifters are not having a problem with the algorithm. They're not the ones complaining about not getting enough views. The people who are doing the worst are not the ones complaining about how the algorithm works. It's the people who actually have something to say, something to prove, something they're trying to repair. Those are the people who are like, I'm trying to say something, but it doesn't seem like it's getting across, and it's da 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 because the cohesive power of positivity is going to disrupt commerce because competition makes women go buy a bunch of purses that they ain't gonna never use because I gotta prove to the next bitch how I got it. Competition is gonna make a nigga keep go buying those new shoes and standing in line for them J's and da 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 da. But the person who says, "Yo, man, we are each other," and you need to see your sister, you need to see that lady as your sister, you need to see that man as your brother, and you need to start competing with him and start cooperating with him. Then all that economic activity starts to direct itself inward instead of outward, and we stop becoming an access point for all these different communities to extract wealth. And we start turning ourselves inward. We start insulating ourselves because I see that sister over there trying to start her business. I see that brother over there trying to start that service. I'm not going to go to the outside services. I'm going to go to you. And if there's enough cultural cohesion, then that creates a barrier around our money, and we start seeing each other as people. We start to see ourselves as human. We start to humanize ourselves once again. But if all I see you is either you somebody I can fuck or somebody that I'm going to compete with another nigga to fuck, like then you're not even the point anymore.
I spoke with this older guy
Hmm.
maybe a couple of months ago, and I think the way he brought it down makes
It was a shameless plug. Thank you for noticing. Uh,
what happened?
No, I had a comment that said I did a
Oh,
shameless plug, and I did.
oh.
I literally did a shameless plug.
So I feel like sometimes I feel like with the older generation, like even if some people come around you and they want to talk about their personal life or who they sticking their penis in or whatever case it may be, once you reach the age that is grown, some things should just stay to yourself or it's not something that we need to discuss. Because just like if me and Jive are not in a relationship or nothing like that, but if we were to get in a relationship and I'm sitting here talking to all my friends about how good the sex is with him, then I just told them that it's open doors for them to try him, right? Then you all getting mad about people trying your girlfriend when you sitting in the midst of men telling them how good the cat is. Like I don't get grown men anymore. You keep saying you all are grown, but things that y'all discuss with your so-called friends or whoever you call homies, what happened to things just being secret or sacred anymore? We put everything out in the world, and when you get mad at somebody, you're throwing digs or you throwing every part of our lives into the world. Like you gonna hit me on Facebook. Nobody's private anymore. But y'all say y'all grown. To me, these are not grown people. And if grown people who have business about themselves dealing with people that are kids, then maybe you need to check the people you starting to date. Because the more you talk to them, you know that they're not speaking on a grown person level. So why'd you even drop your penis in that? Or why did you even open your legs for that? Because they already talking to you like they kids. So why would you even go further with somebody who's not speaking on a grown person level to begin with? So some people just have me at an awe sometimes because you're already dealing with a kid. The way they move, how they talk, like they don't even have the ability to move like a grown up, but yet you're having sex with them and mad because they acting like a kid. You slept with a kid. Their mentality is kid. So I guess that's what lose me on some men. It's like y'all sleep or women, you sleeping with kids and now you mad. You got pregnant by the kid, now you mad. They didn't grow up. You didn't have enough conversation with them. Help me understand, sir.
I so for the thing for the people you like, you don't have this much criteria for. That's the problem, right? If I like you and if I want to have sex with you,
It don't really matter.
I don't all that other maturity and maturation and thoughtfulness and this family wealth building. I don't give a fuck about none of that.
But then you fell in love with the person because of the sex, not because of the heart.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's the problem we got right now in the world. Y'all ain't in love. You just love penis or pussy. Like it has nothing to do with the person.
I mean, unfortunately, that's sex and sugar are similar in these two ways.
Ooh, let me hear this.
That they both have an ability to make you lose focus from a healthier dynamic. This is a study that's gone on. I learned this in college. Children actually children actually know what they need to eat instinctively based on their bodies. Right? So if you put food in front of a kid, they will go towards the food that their body actually needs. They'll pick up the Brussels sprouts, they'll pick up the broccoli, they'll pick up the fruit, they'll pick up the slices of ham or whatever the fuck, I don't know. Until sugar and candy is on the table and they go straight to it. They can't even see the other stuff because sugar is such a raw source of quick energy. It short circuits the brain. Kids can't make and adults can't make great decisions. Kids can't make great decisions with sugar, and adults can't make great decisions with sex on the table. People understand how to have great business conversations. People understand how to be very proficient at their tasks and duties. There are great mechanics out there. There are great engineers out there. There are great pilots out there until sex is on the table. And then shit starts going haywire because the short circuit to that immediate gratification rewires the brain away from the path towards progress. Like so I for children, they won't take the healthy food because it doesn't taste as good, it's not sweet, it's not this, that, and the third. But it also that thing, the immediate high of sugar is the thing that is gonna short circuit a kid. The immediate high of sex is the thing that short circuits our brain, especially men. Short circuits our brain, and we can't think anymore rationally. Like
But is
I
this
know
not?
you've been in a room, and I've seen it. I know you've been in a room where the minute, or maybe you haven't because you're the woman, but I've been in rooms where men are just walking around and we're just joking around and we're just being productive, and then women walk in, and then behavior shift, and then all of a sudden there becomes this posturing, and there becomes this sort of, knuckle dragging, this sort of, you know, this
Macho.
this macho, this, what they call peeing contest, whatever. And all of a sudden, if you notice it, you're like, yo, what happened? Yo, we was just joking, we was
Right.
just chilling. Women walked in the room, and all of a sudden everybody is drawing lines, and I'm like, I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? But it's a biological short circuit that happens for some men, that they just, the minute they see that, they go into a competitive space. They go into that, hyper focused around getting to that, and they're no longer proficient at being decent people. That's just my experience.
Well, my experience is I'm just try to keep it real
You feel me?
because at the end of the day, the older you get, you have no choice but to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? And if we say we learn from my experience, once you done had kids, and you done been there, done that, all you want is what's best for your kids. And to see people have multiple kids, and then the first kid you didn't learn from, that doesn't really make sense for me. If even if the first guy you had sex with, and even if all your kids don't have the same father, and even if they do, one kid should have taught you something that you learned to do better with the second kid. But to see people, whether it's a mother or a father, to see them kind of do the same thing over and over again with different kids doesn't really make sense to me. And all of us are young, and we all sometimes have kids at a young age. At the same time, the same energy you put in making sure you look good in the streets, like women who take the time to make sure they sit down and get their hair done or get their nails done, how you look better than your own kids. So a lot of these things is a problem for me because how is it that we more concerned about what we look like and what our relationships look like, but we not trying to mend relationship with our kids? Well, they grown, they can do what they want to do, but you'll run behind a nigga or you'll run behind a chick. You'll jump bows and everything for these women or these men, but you won't do the same for your kids. They grown and they disrespectful, but I see what women or men with grown and disrespectful spouses. So your kid can be disrespectful you, but you could be in a relationship with somebody that mistreats you, have different spouses, but we're gonna drag our own children and we're going to tell them that they're grown and you could do better and blah 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 and blah blah blah. But as a parent, you also not setting no type of examples. Like a lot of people don't even have good relationships, but you sitting here trying to tell your kids to have better ones. Show me where you had one at. And I'm just trying to wonder with a lot of young parents now, when do you sit down? Like I understand that we're young, but I feel like even if you want to party with your own age group, even if you want to do certain things and you still want to be lively in the world or in your community, do it with your own age group. And if you're not doing it with your age group and you're going to cater to the younger group, then teach them something. If you're going to be part of the problem, then you don't need to be part of the young people group. So if you're going to be part of society and you out here doing you and you're part of all these young people, then teach them something. What's the point of having somebody older who's going to do the same thing that the young people doing and not teaching them anything? That makes no sense to me. How do you feel about that? You got kids. So I would hope that you would want your kids surrounded by people that's going to teach them something, but not teach them the wrong way of doing things. I've been there, I've done that. Let me do it. No, if you've been there, done that, I hope you learn from it, not let somebody else do it too.
So here's where it's challenging, because it depends on how you assess what's happened to you. If you've assessed your failures as the world's inability to meet you at your effort, then you're not going to. I'm not going to tell you. You know, like, I'll use an easy example. A if a woman is telling another woman, it's not about you being broke. It's about how broke these niggas is, right? So then it's not about your ability to be a proficient, employee or employer, or your talent, your skills, whatever. It's the problem wasn't in that. The problem was in these niggas ain't shit. So your behavior is not under indictment. It's the inability of the people to meet you at your greatness, right? if I'm a man and I have all these broken homes, it's not the failure of myself, my ability to provide, protect, and lead. It's the ability of the woman to properly submit to me. So then I'm not giving the proper information. I'm not out here telling people what they should be hearing. Look, um, it's gonna be hard out here, and you're gonna meet people who have biases that inform them on what they should expect from you, and it's gonna be tough to convince a woman. Blah 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 blah. It's gonna be tough to convince a man. Yada 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 yada. But you also have to live in your honesty, and you have to be blah 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 blah. Nobody's having that deep conversation because we flattened ourselves into guarantees and expectations. I'm always this, and you better be that.
That's not fair.
And, at all.
That's not, and I'm a woman. Like, I don't think that's fair to men by no
It's
either
not fair to anybody.
either
Yeah,
body.
yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? I just feel like we all make mistakes, and at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. Like, I'm not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. But if I can sit down and have a conversation with somebody and explain to them, hey, look, I understand where you're coming from, and I get what you're dealing with, and if we can all sit together and come up with some type of resolution, I'm not judging you. And I think a lot of people feel judged all the time. But if I'm dealing with somebody grown, and in my experience at 42, when I'm talking to grown people, they're not judged. They like, oh man, I'm glad you put me up on game. So that's why I say at the end of the day, when you really talking to grown people who are dealing with stuff, they not on that pettiness or thinking you judging them. That's why I feel like a lot of people not talking to grown people. They got a lot of bit more growing up to do. If you arguing with somebody about something real, then those people really got a little bit more growing up to do, because a real person or a grown person can understand where you coming from. Like, oh, I may not agree with you, but I get where you coming from. Because a grown person know that they don't have to agree with everybody. I can hear you out, but I don't have to agree with you. So I feel like when I'm talking to somebody and we got to argue about a situation, you ain't mature yet, because we don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree.
To an extent, I think there are some things that are like those are deal breaker conversations. Like, and it just be terribly, obvious. Like child molestation.
I mean, come on.
There's no agree. You know what I'm saying?
You
There's
can't
no
agree
agree to
on
disagree.
that.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
there's no agree to disagree.
But I mean,
So
the relationship
so in
type
relationships,
conversation.
like I've known a lot of men who try to definitely introduce and reintroduce the idea of an open relationship, threesomes, all this other stuff, and the woman has a moral compass against that. Like, no, no, that's not what I'm
Right.
gonna do. Um, that's you can't agree to disagree on that. That is
Then that just becomes cheating, because it sounds like you just want another chick.
eh,
So now I done said no, but we're going to keep pushing the back. You might need to leave that alone. You asked me, I was open minded to listen. That's all I'm saying, meaning the open mind part. You asked, I listened, I turned down, let's move on. We shouldn't have. Then now you're cheating because I ain't want to do it with Sally. So now you over here sleeping with Sally anyway.
that's
So
right.
you might as well just say you wanted Sally. It had nothing to do with threesomes. Had nothing to do with me, you and
Right,
Sally.
right, right.
You
Because
just wanted to do Sally.
and you didn't have enough sexual discipline to say, look, there's some things that I just want that I just if I made my choice here, then that's maybe next lifetime.
There you go.
But it's it'd been nice, but no, and there's no peace in that. I don't think anybody knows peace in a hyper consumerist society. I remember I had a girlfriend. She had a nice car.
You don't
sh
like the fuck car.
no, I didn't like that. She had a nice car, and she was barely making the payments for that. She was making the payments and she was doing her thing. But when the new version of the same car came out, she was unsettled because she had just bought her car, and the next one just came out, and she was like, it had a few bells and whistles that the other one didn't have, you know, sure, but she couldn't find peace.
Really, over a
and
car.
and over her car. Like that's how consumers we've become. Like it was like she was willing to refinance and go get it.
It ain't that deep.
But for some people it is, and that's the problem. For some people it is that serious. I chose this man when I was down and out, and he was good while I was down and out. But I'm up now,
And
and
he's down
and,
though.
and he
And
and
that's what
he's
I don't like.
there. You go.
Is because if he was with you when you was down and you get up and you just step all over him, that is effed up. Women, men, it all is the same. You cannot be with a woman and the whole time you didn't have a job. okay, you get with another chick, she put you on game and your life is better, then you should give back to that chick. I don't care that you with another chick. You know what I'm saying? We ain't together. But if you knew all your life that when you was hitting bottom, I was the one that helped you. When you get on top, you should at least go backwards a little bit, not to sleep with a chick or nothing. Say, hey, look, I appreciate you for looking out. Here you go. I'm good in life now. I just feel that's men and women. I feel like if somebody helped you out along life and now you're doing better in life, the right thing to do is to say, hey, look, I appreciate you. I'm doing good. Hey, let me know if you need me. This is where I'm at in life. This is what I can do for you. Hit me up. I feel like if people did that a lot in their life, then relationships wouldn't be bad. Even though we didn't get along upon breaking up, I know what you did for me. And that's a part of growing. To me, that makes you grown. If you've been in the slumps and now you've grown and you're doing better in life and you knew who helped you, but you couldn't help them then, but you can help them now, to me, that's growing. That's grown. You had mistakes in life. You've grown from it. You should look out for the people that looked out for you. You couldn't do it then, but if you're capable of doing it now, everybody, you should do better in life and look out for the people that looked out for you. That's how I live my life. I mean, I couldn't help you then, but if I'm up in life, I got you.
I mean, ultimately that would be dope, but it's not necessarily how people do it. You know what I'm saying? People are like, we leave people and wipe our hands of them.
That's
And
not right.
no, I mean, but it's what happens. Like, so when you're reporting on the truth, it's not about what's you kind of gotta like have this understanding that it's not necessarily about whether it's nice or right or wrong or great or not or whatever. It's about, is this the truth? And then we have to deal with how we approach what's true. We as a people are really disheveled. We as a people are really disorganized. We as a people, the word I like to use is unregulated. Like, we don't have any features of our culture that are above us, and we have to operate in, like, when you have like a regulated meat market, right? You have to, the USDA has to come in and approve. They have to look at the stuff, and everything has to be in order and good keeping and everything. And they give you a grade, and it's like you got to fix this, fix this, fix this. Cultures have that too, and when you have cultural cohesion, those inspectors, so to speak, are the elders, right? So when you look at maybe you look at Hindu culture, or you look at you know um, Muslim culture, or you look at African culture or indigenous culture, what you will see is a respect for the elders, even as they're adults.
Right.
And they're like, yo, you'll hear adult men say, I can't do that. My mom's gonna kill me. In other
Right.
cultures, my father is not gonna have that. I go to college, I have to get a degree that my parents are going to respect.
Or I can't marry you because they gonna disown me. I ain't
Right.
gonna get no
It's
inheritance. Like,
and so there's a cultural consequence to their behavior that guides. Black people are the only ones. When you adult, you do whatever you want. I
want to
don't give
do.
a fuck.
I don't care
Whatever.
what you when you
Wrong.
grow up,
Yeah,
do
when you
whatever.
grow, you grown.
But we got the same last name. It matters to me. I care what my child do when she get. Look, girl, you a repetition of me, and you get out there and now they saying I got a hoe for a daughter. Look, no,
Yeah.
I don't want no hoe daughter. I don't want no deadbeat dad son. You know, it's like none of these things represent who we are as a family. So no, I'm not about to let you become who the streets saying that you are. And I think as parents, if you know that's not where you came from, quit letting your kids get labeled as that when that's not who we are.
I mean, unfortunately, it's who we become.
Yeah, but not
We
who we
become
are.
the. It's not who we were meant to be, but it's
There you
become who
go.
we are because we are okay with that. I'm okay with being whatever the least amount of energy it takes to get the most out of you.
I'm not okay with it. But that's just me. Look, like we said, everybody got their own thing, and I'm instilling my kid not to be okay with it. Even if you have kids, please do not be okay with this from your kids. Because again, our kids got to have kids. And then we got to be grandparents. So whatever we put out to them, they got to teach to their kids. So if we already not steering them in the right direction, they're set for failure.
I agree.
So, hey, look, I'm always loving it to chop it up with my guy. He can always call on me. I love having these conversations. Me and him have conversations on phones without radio. So this is what I mean about the world. You don't even have to be in front of an audience to have a serious conversation to make things happen. You can talk to people on an everyday basis with with some form of trying to help someone better their lives. Doesn't have to be for a platform. Doesn't have to be for an audience. If you love people, how about we start helping them?
Good question. Well, stop it right there. Yo, man, it was dope. Thank you for stopping by. Let me give you a
Anytime,
little
any second.
give you a little bit of something. Yo, click up the podcast, like, share, subscribe, do all the stuff that the dope kids are doing. We are gonna be in here a lot more, man. I'm doing a lot of upgrades in here, trying to make it dope for all the people. Thank you for Cherie DeVillers for stopping through. Always a pleasure. She'll be back very soon.
I will.
You guys take it easy. Drive slow. Peace.